If you want to make age 50 to 75 the best years of your life, be a mentor. Now, this is true for men and women, but today I just want to talk to the guys. You know what? I keep finding these people who are in their mid 20s, early 30s, who are hungry for mentorship. One of my daughters said that I seem to attract these lost souls who are asking for life advice, but that's okay because I want to help people. And if you want to make the latter part of your life better, just be open to being a mentor. Now, people ask me, how do you find these people who you mentor? First of all, this isn't a business. I'm not charging people to talk to them and just share perspectives. And I'm not a therapist. And I tell them right up front, I can't necessarily solve problems, but I always talk to people when I meet them. So if I meet someone, I'm friendly. I'll talk to people. And if they're in their late 20s or early 30s, a lot of them are hungry for ideas on how do I build my business? How do I find a life partner? They'll ask a lot of questions if you take an interest in them. So I've been fortunate. I've mentored several people, but when I was younger, I had several people who took an interest in me and showed me how to be a mentor by being a great mentor. But I think it's really important that you make yourself available to mentor people. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to find people. It doesn't mean someone's going to ask you to be their mentor. But when's the last time you were at your faith community, you were at a business event, heck, wherever you go, that you started a conversation with somebody of any age? But more importantly, when's the last time, if you're in that 50 to 75 year age range, when's the last time you talked to somebody, initiated a conversation with somebody younger? I think what you'll find is that they want to talk to you. A lot of people tell me, oh, the younger generation doesn't want to talk to older people. That's not true. And just today, I was talking to a guy who I've mentored. He wants to be a professional speaker. He's got the skills, he's got that spark, but he doesn't know anything about the business. So I've been helping him. I've been introducing him to people. I brought him to the National Speakers Association. But here's the thing. Today, he was talking to me about one of his best friends. And my friend, he has 3 or 4 people who've mentored him throughout his career. And he said his best friend said to him, how do you find a mentor? The guy was like, I want some guidance in my career. I want somebody to take an interest in me. So just the fact that they're talking to each other saying, how do I find a mentor, means that they're looking. Now, you can't advertise because you're not charging for this. And it would be totally dorky to meet somebody and be like, hey, can I mentor you? In fact, it might be even a little creepy. But just take an interest in people and let them know that you're always available to them. So I have 2 friends that I met when they were in their early 20s. They're now in their mid 30s. My kids call them my fake sons because they're really 2 of my best friends now. They've found their own way in life and all that. But both of them, when they were in their early 20s, just out of college, they met me. They knew I knew a little bit about ambition and success. Not that I had figured it all out, but they were like, separately, would you be my mentor? And I told both of them the same thing. I said, I'm not even sure what that means, but you're always welcome to call. Now, I've probably said this to dozens of people, but these 2, they just never stopped calling. Fast forward 15 years, they were both at my oldest daughter's wedding. They're sort of part of the family. And all I did was say, you're always welcome to call. Now, what I tell the mentees, the mentor can't drive that relationship early on. You have to drive it. You have to find out, how often will they take your call? Are they willing to meet with you in person? Do they want to meet for coffee? Do they want to do Zoom? Would they rather go grab a beer? It's up to the mentee to get the relationship going, because early on, it would be just weird to be like, it's time for me to mentor you. But after you develop a relationship, make sure that you as the mentor keep the relationship alive. I think it's really important that those of us who have reached this seasoned age, whether we're men or women, that we're looking downstream, not just to our own kids or our nephews and nieces or people who work in our company, but that we're looking for people who want to learn from us. And if we make ourselves available, I think you'll be surprised. People want to learn. They want to know your life experience. They want your perspective. You're not always going to be right. And I tell them that. Anybody I mentor, I'm like, you get what you pay for, and I'm not charging you. Now, I want to add something else in that. There's a lot of people nowadays who create coaching businesses. I do coaching. There's nothing wrong with making some money out of your knowledge. However, if all you do is charge for people to meet with you, that's not living in a place of service. Sometimes you have to be willing to say, I'm just here for you. And you'll know the right people to say that to when you meet them. But I think this mentorship of younger men, especially, but also younger women, is really important in our society right now. And I just want to tell you, mentorship is something that it can change people's lives, but also as the mentor, it can change your life. I think I'm a better person and I'm more knowledgeable about the world and I have a little bit more fun because I have developed these friendships with people who are 20 and 30 years younger than I am. So if you want to keep active, if you want to make age 50 to 75 the best years of your life, live in a place of service and just be willing to talk to people. The right person just might say, "Would you be my mentor?" And if they ask, find a way to be there for them. Now, if you tell them, "You're always welcome to call me," that means you have to be willing to take the call. And sometimes you won't know the answers to what they need, or sometimes you think they need a therapist, and that's the answer you have to give them. But if we live in a place where we're willing, as we get older, to serve the next generation, we leave an impact and we change the world. So that's today's video. I think it's really important that if you're not actively building friendships and helping mentor the people who are 10, 20, 30 years younger than you, 40 years younger than you, then you're leaving your own talents behind. So embrace this idea of being a mentor, especially to people who are looking and seeking for people to help them. So mentorship matters, and I want you to matter. And I want to continue throughout the rest of my life to make sure that I'm available to share my opinions. Now, I'm not saying I'm so great. My opinions can be absolutely stupid or absolutely wrong. And I tell everybody you get what you pay for, and you're not paying for this. It's just having someone to talk to. Plus, as the person on the older side, if you develop a real friendship, you're going to learn everything that's going on in the world right now for people who are in their 20s and 30s. And it's a lot different than it was when we were there. However, what we experienced isn't wrong, and it actually might be really good advice and the advice they need to hear. So embrace mentorship, and you're going to have a little bit more fun and a little bit more meaning as you get older.